No, not yet.
Not
it's
yet?
on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way.
Well, why don't you tell?
But not yet.
Why don't you tell people what's on its way?
My album.
Oh.
It is called.
What album?
Leaving Saturn.
Oh.
And ladies and gentlemen, I have just talked to the distributor, and it's on its way.
That's right.
I can give no more details other than that. I've shared many creative opinions with many different creatives that I trust.
Yep.
And it's looking like on all parts we're ready to go. We're ready for launch. So shit's about to get fucking crazy.
King Kudjo
respectfully
is about to
King Kudjo's about to release another fucking album. I haven't done an album in like maybe 2 years.
Yeah, how's it feel to have it like done? To have it like locked? And
it feels like a thing has left my like soul. I don't know. Like
you can move on.
Yes, I can move on now because whenever I do anything music related, when it comes to release, I always drop at least 2 songs.
Bro, I just feel
minimum.
like, oh, you're saying.
Like for me, I don't just drop a single because singles can be quick and then you just work on a song really quickly. You're done. You can push it out there. I don't like doing that. I like creating a whole idea.
Yeah.
So it's always more, at least like bare minimum 2 songs that I'm dropping at a time. Yeah. And this one, it's like I don't want to reveal like how many tracks there are yet, but it's a lot of tracks, and so there's a lot of like work musically on me. So I'm glad to be done with that and can kind of do other creative things.
Dude, I really do have the feeling that making albums and stuff is like captures like a period of time, and like anytime you go back,
it does.
Yeah, and like we've made our album in the past, and that album was like what's it called, an amalgamation or like a melting pot of like the beginning's end.
The
like
beginning's end,
our first album, co-album. Like it was kind of like a melting pot of like songs that we kind of already kind of had in our heads and stuff. Like He Dead is like this song that we just made up on like
we made up while we were playing video games. Yeah.
Right, and then like we had the concept for Trail Mix, this like love song, before we like had the beat because there's like a trail and like mixed signals.
Yeah, no, it was like I had a beat that I put in the back end that I just never touched. Yeah, and I forgot about it. And then we had the idea for the song, and we're like, oh, let's pick out like a beat that like works for this song.
Exactly.
And then the two just kind of came together.
And This Is the Life, which is the last song on that album, is like a song we came up with in 6th grade, I think.
Yeah, actually, that song was like a remake of a song we already made in middle school. So we've been musicians.
So I feel like The Beginning's End was a catch up for us. Yeah. But it like captures more than it captures like our senior year of high school, but it also captures like our whole lives until that point, because that was the first time it felt
like the spark of like creativity. Like, you know how they always say the universe started in like a big bang?
Yeah.
I feel like The Beginning's End is literally that big bang where all these creative things started coming together.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Like every little detail of like a song we would just like come up with on the fly, or just over a video game, or that we came up with in middle school, just kind of like regrew into like this project.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's satisfying, and it's like
satisfying.
But now it's like I feel like albums now are especially this new album, like which you already said the title for, right?
Yes, Leaving Saturn.
Leaving Saturn to me is like it's you in a mindset during a period of time, and it captures the entire mindset for like the entire period of time. And like I said before, with The Beginning's End, we're just catching up, so it's like these are kind of random songs.
Yeah,
but I feel like
there's not like a good glue between each song.
Exactly, but I feel like this album takes you on a journey through the time in your life, like the period of time, and it is like you listen to it straight through, and you can bang them like by themselves as well. Right. But I'm just excited for people to go on this journey.
I'm excited for it too. Like, I feel like this gives me the same feeling of like watching a movie. You're watching this one character go through this whole arc.
Yes.
Each song kind of takes the character and puts it in a different spot in their life. So I'm really excited to see like other people go on that journey and be like, oh shit, like I didn't understand it in the beginning, but you will understand it at the end of the whole project.
Exactly.
You know, their ideas I definitely like. They're alley-ooped in the first half of the album, and then they are caught in the second half. So.
Yeah, and like in Midpoint, there's like ones that they're banging, like they got like the choruses.
Yeah.
But this is also like more like a stitched together story. So there's ones that are they're short interludes and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of that little I don't know, this project is a half and half, like midpoint half, just like if I'm writing a story, I need a scene to get to the next.
Exactly.
To take this character on this next part of their journey. And that happens a lot in this album where you can definitely pick out certain songs that are just like banger songs by themselves. Yeah. You don't have to think about the story too much. It's just a whole vibe. And then there are songs dedicated specifically to the story of what's happening to the character. Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
I was showing you that one song. It's a Frank Ocean song, like Solo. And like it has like the
I was actually using that for reference earlier when I was trying to think about like crediting people.
Yeah, we both knew that song already, but I found out like that there's the one song on the album that comes before it, and like when I listened to it like in order, like that first interlude makes the song so much more meaningful because the interlude's about how it's like this like old like, oh, don't do marijuana, don't drink, don't do this, kids. And then in the song, he immediately starts with like, so I was taking these tabs, and I'm like, oh, so he's like making a statement about
finding heaven and hell. And,
like it's stitched together so nicely, and that's like what your songs do. It's like you can enjoy them by themselves, but like you get the full story by listening to them in order.
Exactly. Yeah. It's yeah, each song by itself is like fine or whatever, but it's really a whole journey. I keep having people like tell me, oh, okay, can we hear a song? Or yeah, this, and can we do that and do that? I was like, dude, I cannot give you like a random song on the album and let you hear it because you're gonna take that out of context of the story.
Exactly.
And you won't be surprised when it comes up.
Yeah.
You know? So like, sorry, you can only have to listen to like the first track just to get you started. Right, I can put you on the start of the journey, but I cannot take you anywhere in the middle. You just have to ride it all the way through.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm proud of you, bro, for getting through this. Like, I feel like it's just this difficult part of life, and like coming.
Yeah, no, it was. It's weird because when people are gonna hear "Leaving Saturn" for the first time, it's gonna feel as if I'm living that right then and there.
Yeah.
When in truth, I made the album like a year ago, 2 years ago, right. So all they're hearing is past emotions. But I don't know. I'm excited to have
You're
my
helping
ears.
People still in those emotions.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect to those people that are still going through that journey actively, or maybe have just gotten past it and need to reflect on it, or are about to go through it.
Yeah.
And they kind of want to take a look at what it feels like before they jump right in.
Yeah, and like I said, Len, like we talked about, I feel like for me, I didn't realize I was going through a similar journey when I did my feature on the song, and then it helped with the verse so much.
It did. Like, it has to be one of your top verses.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it, really, and I'm excited because I feel like it was the right mindset, and I feel like the album itself helps me feel the full emotions of what it's like to be an aspiring artist in LA and like try to make it. It's just like you just feel like you don't have a guide sometimes, and like you feel like you don't know which path to follow because like in like when we're kids and stuff, like you can follow so many different paths. Like it's like, oh, this is the kid that plays basketball in high school.
And then there's a track for that, right? You go to a rec team, and then you go do a team at your school. Like there's a very obvious path for those types of people.
There's an archetype that we can follow and feel comfortable in that archetype.
Yeah.
But like now, it's like, what the fuck is the archetype? Like, I don't know.
What are you supposed to be doing?
So
what are you supposed to be?
All like we can turn to is like making art and expressing like the difficulties of the situations right now, I guess. Like, and it doesn't always have to be about struggle. Like we are also making art otherwise, just like
you can make art out of like fun. I feel like art is made out of feeling. Yeah, that's all it's based on. And yes, you're always going to feel your struggles, but you can also feel your most cheerful moments in life as well.
I agree. I agree. And I feel like our life has changed in the past week. I feel so different than I did last week.
I feel different. I feel different today than I did last week as well.
Yeah.
I feel a lot different, especially once this album is actually like out and people can just like hear it too. Because it's like, damn, I have to really switch gears now.
It changes your mindset sometimes to like drop your thoughts like that.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does.
It's like people know you now. Like those who listen to the like, don't you feel like that? Like you're like, oh my gosh, like this person knows this like intimate thing about me.
The album is that's kind of one of the themes in the album is that you don't really know me just based on like, you know, just like this like the image that I give to people, but I'm shedding that away in the project.
Yes.
So if you didn't know me then, if you listen to the whole project, you'll know me now.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah,
It is very exciting. I'm excited for people to hear it. I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't know how it's gonna be received because I don't know. I feel like I've created a certain image. Again, I've made a certain image of myself.
Yeah.
This project is me breaking the image of myself, so I don't know how it's gonna be. Dude,
I'm so hyped for you though. Like,
thanks, man.
Ooh, that was a solid.
That feel really good. Yeah, that felt nice.
I'm so excited. I just feel like you're so vulnerable on this album, and like, I feel like I've struggled with that a lot, like being vulnerable in art and music, and like you being vulnerable on this album has allowed me to be vulnerable on my own songs that are coming up.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Sean and I have been cooking this week.
We have been going crazy music-wise.
And Sean, I feel like you inspired me to just say whatever the fuck I want. Like, just say
it.
You know?
No, that's a dangerous message.
I'm like, but to a certain degree, it's like,
it's a good
you
thing.
just got to get your words out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you come up with an incredible chorus or something. Like, this song that we made like 2 nights ago,
it's pretty
on
fucking
a whim.
Hard.
Like, I am so excited for it.
Pretty fucking hard.
I think that's gonna be like I said, like mid-February drop, like maybe
romantic vibes.
Exactly, maybe like a mid-February.
Yeah.
Like 2 songs, maybe. I think.
When is Valentine's Day?
February 14th. So literally just like dead smack mid-February.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's romantic vibes for this next one.
Romantic season.
It's just gonna be like low-key.
My room is still fucking pink.
It doesn't matter. I don't
switch it up.
Is it low key? Is it a low key drop? We'll see.
We'll see what
Nothing's
confirmed, but everything's confirmed. You feel me?
I feel like everything's confirmed. I feel like it's gonna be dropped now. I feel like before it's like, maybe it's gonna be dropped. I feel like now it's like it's gonna.
Yeah, I try to push you a little bit. Like you have to drop this because not only do I think people want to hear this from you, I think you want to hear this from yourself.
I think that's the thing.
I think you want to be like, you want to have that ability to say like, yeah, I fucking dropped this.
You're publicly like saying like, this is like me. That's like art, and like
that is art.
That's why it's so like intimidating to like drop something.
That's why a lot of artists are so fucking shy about their own art.
Yeah,
because like it's you know, you're going on a deep end when you're saying, oh, this is me.
Yeah,
right. This is what I created. It's such a vulnerable space to be in. That's also why I think people. Not that people shouldn't give bad critiques or something, but people should be careful on what they say to an artist. Artists are incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah, true.
So just be mindful of that, and you know, like, be careful what you say to them.
You're so right, and I feel like the thought of dropping these songs excites me because it's like, oh shit. Oh no, I didn't.
Exactly. You know I feel like almost every song should be like a oh no, he did.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you've been oh snap, no way. Like, yeah, it's just like a good way to express emotion. And
it's a beautiful because music especially, and you can go to the top most professional music people. They'll tell you that there is really no right way to do anything in music. Yeah. Right? Like, in the mixing sense, it's all by ear.
Yeah.
In a producing sense, it's all by ear. Like, it's just like, it's personal taste and not a word-for-word document on step-by-step how to do something.
Yeah.
So, that's why I feel like music as a creative outlet, just to express yourself, is like one of the most rawest types of expression.
Dude, exactly.
There's really no... I know there's this thing called music theory, and like they have all these guidebooks on how chords work and progressions and all that. And yes, those are like guidelines, but they're not step by steps.
Yeah.
You know, music is truly, it's just raw emotion.
It is. It's so nice, and I want to give a shout out to my Christmas gift, like the AirPods, because
you gonna sponsor them?
I would do it.
Okay.
I would
Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, ever since I got these AirPods, it's been the most incredible thing in the world. Like, and I'm not even saying that because of like, because I had earbuds that were Apple brand before the AirPods.
Oh, really?
I'm not even talking about, like, I don't know, like, I feel like the quality of, like, the music is better too.
That's what I'm trying. Oh, like, dude. Oh my God. All right, I'm about to join you on this AirPod ledge real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like AirPods make music sounds so much sweeter than it should be.
Dude, it's like...
Especially with its spatialized audio thing, we can kind of hear it in like a room. It sounds so nice.
And you can dance without having like the wires like being all messed up and stuff.
Yeah. It feels like the music is literally playing from your head.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like...
It's crispest form.
It's incredible. Like, I keep listening to like the same songs a lot of the time, or different songs, but like, I'm like, ooh, I wonder how this one sounds in the AirPods. And like,
no, that's what I'm saying. No, that would happen to me while I'm mixing, where I'm mixing on like, my headphones or sometimes speakers. I'm like, all right, I need to make sure this sounds good on AirPods. Yeah. Like, I always go back to AirPods.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll spend like an entire day just like tweaking a couple things with just AirPods in. Yeah. Because I want to hear it in like its most like full, delicious form.
Yeah, because I have like pretty good headphones, but they're still not like just like everything. Like, AirPods feel like I get it like all. Like,
yeah. No, that's the thing. My headphones, they sound really, really flat, which is a good thing for like mixing, because AirPods will lie to you on how good a song is, right, because it's sweetening it. Yeah. In like really like subtle ways, like upping the bass a little bit or making the vocal sound a certain way. Like, AirPods sweeten the noise. So it's good to have really expensive, just like really flat sounding like headphones for like creating it. Right. So it's not lying to you. But sometimes I like to be lied to, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Especially
I like to
when,
be lied to.
Like, so Sean and I recently, I would say, switched up our lifestyle. Whereas like before, it was a much more like explorative.
We had a very different lifestyle. Yeah.
And it was fun because we got to explore the city and we got to like see shit and all that. But recently we're like, all right, when we come back to LA, we're going to take it down a notch. We're going to dive in creatively, and we're going to stay indoors for the most part. That's kind of what
I don't think I've left the apartment in like days.
I left today, and it was the first time like in like 5 days.
You've been out and about?
Yeah. Like, and it was fun to go out and about, and I explored, and like I went into like to get like brunch in like North Hollywood, and then I came back and explored downtown a little bit.
How was brunch?
It was really good.
Where'd y'all eat?
We ate at this place called like, I think it was called like, I can't remember the name of it. It was like Black Market Cafe or something. But that sounds like
Cafe.
That sounds like what's near my house at home in Maryland.
Black Market Cafe? No, what type of food are we talking about here?
It was like...
or is it one of those
Black
like...
Canvas Coffee.
Black Canvas Coffee?
Yeah.
Do they have black canvases while you have coffee?
Were there black canvases? There might have been.
Is there food at this? Are you guys just having coffee, or is
there
food?
There was food. I had a parfait.
That sounds atrocious.
It was good. You don't like parfaits?
I don't know what a parfait is.
Parfait is like granola, yogurt, like fruit.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad.
It's really good. In fact, it's actually, we should probably get some, like just the ingredients so we can like make some parfaits for ourselves.
Really?
It's really good, yeah.
All right.
I think you would like it. I genuinely think you would like
it. The sound parfait sounds like one of those really expensive dishes that actually taste like ass.
I feel like Sharpay would eat a parfait.
Exactly. Yeah. Sharpay would eat a parfait. But parfaits are disgusting.
That's a bar.
Yeah. Sharpay would eat a parfait? I don't think that's a bar. That's not a bar. It just rhymes. Those are two separate things. We need to set the record straight. There's a difference between saying a bar and shit just fucking.
There's no difference.
No, there's a Sharpay eating a parfait.
A parfait. Sharpay went parfait after she ate a parfait.
Now we're getting closer to a bar. Although that shit really just rhymes. It's closer now. We're trying to get an idea across here.
I like it. But yeah, I got a parfait and a matcha latte. I love matcha.
Parfait and a matcha latte?
Yeah.
That did rhyme, by the way.
I got a parfait and a matcha latte. I mean, they're kind of like...
And a matcha latte,
Maybe if you add an at the end.
Add a parfait and a matcha latte,
Oh, yeah. Oh, like a pause and then
I'll put a pause and then
Okay, got
it depends on the beat, of course, but like...
And then a matcha latte.
Yeah. I would do a parfait and a matcha latte,
Yeah.
Coming through them, I have to say all day,
In fact, we should talk about how we have just been getting in the like music studio, which is Sean's room with a bunch of blankets around it.
Yeah, you guys should see my room right now.
It's pretty epic.
It's just blankets all over. It gives the best quality sound.
It does.
But when you walk in, it's like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it does. It's like a tent or something.
It does. But like, so we've been getting in the music studio more recently and just like spitting whatever we want.
Yeah.
And I feel like our creative energy is now easily accessible and more frequently utilized. Because we've been doing it more. You know what I'm saying?
Agree. Yeah.
Like, I like that we get these, like, night energies to go and, like, do music and stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like the podcast, usually it's, like a concrete thing. It is a concrete thing throughout the week. But I feel like now it feels like just, like, another art thing to do when we've been doing it all week.
That's true.
Constantly.
We've been doing constant creativity.
Like, so it's, like, another one in the mix, basically.
Also, I appreciate because music-wise, I've been so focused on this one project that I've only gotten to hear the same X amount of songs over and over again.
Yeah.
But, like, with this new creative energy, we've been making new songs.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, shit. I forgot how exciting it is to make a new song.
I know. It's so fun. Yeah, it's hard because you got to, like, power through a lot of re-listens, like, to be able to, like, make a song come out.
Yeah.
You have to, like, be able to, like, critique it and do this and do that. But, like, just making a fun beat for the night. We made one that's, like, so silly. Like,
it is
like
pretty silly. It's somewhere between like garbage and ass. I'm gonna be honest.
You trying to play it? Should I put it at the end of the podcast?
Definitely not. No. Please don't do that. It's gonna ruin my whole run with leaving Saturn if you you let anybody hear that.
So funny.
But in the mix of this ass, there's actually a gem. Like I can hear the song for what it wants.
You think we could
be.
refine it and
it can 100% be refined. It is because I feel like a key part of music, especially making a song, is finding the energy.
Yes.
Right. Finding whatever it is that makes it feel like, ooh, I like listening to this.
Right.
Now you just got to take that one aspect and then blow it up, and you have a song.
Maybe we'll workshop this one and then drop it.
No, we're gonna have to workshop the shit out of it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty silly.
We have something.
I think so too. I'm excited for it. I'm pumped.
Wow. A soul can't know about it in its current state, though. It has to be like they can't know.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, not this time.
You cannot know,
maybe
bro.
next time.
That's the thing. That's another thing about being a creative, that I never know exactly like when you should and when you should not.
Right.
Like the line is blurry. Some arts you make for yourself for training, or you want to try something new.
Yeah.
But it has to be for yourself because when you put something out there, it's a representation of what you are.
Right, I understand. It's like a draft, is what you're saying. Like,
exactly. You don't put a draft out there. You put the final product out there.
Right.
But the thing is, like, sometimes you'll make something creatively and you go so far in it, but was it always a draft to begin with?
That's true. That's a good point.
Is this an art that you keep for yourself, or is this an art that you release?
It's hard to draw that line.
Yeah.
Because, like, for a minute, I was like... That's actually the way I
You're thinking one of your songs,
Well,
right?
yeah. For Seasons, I was like, this is just an art for myself. And I can't drop this because it would be crazy if I dropped this.
Yeah.
But now I'm like more of in like an anarchist state of mind, and I'm just like,
We love our anarchy. We absolutely love the chaos.
I'm just saying, like, a little chaos, like, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's throwing a wrench in the gears that you've built for yourself. It's
True.
Sometimes what's necessary or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Sometimes to do the unexpected of you is exactly what you should do because...
Yeah, I heard something about that with Zodiac Signs.
Oh, really?
Now, I don't believe in that Zodiac Sign bullshit because the idea that you're born, like, on a day and it decides your whole personality is such horseshit.
Yeah.
But someone put me onto some game about Zodiac Signs.
Okay.
That it was never about being born into a certain group. It's about understanding that some of your tendencies are in a group, and to develop and expand yourself, you need to try and do things outside of the group that you're in.
Oh.
So if you're a Leo just by personality, not even by born,
Yeah.
you just act like a Leo, you should try things like a Cancer.
Oh.
Right? You should be able to take from all the zodiac signs instead of just harboring yourself in like the disadvantages and advantages of one.
What are you again? You're like an Aquarius?
I was born an Aquarius. I like that idea. I like the idea of Aquarius people because they just very open-minded and always thinking, and clever bastards.
Let me see. The basic.
Also, we're like the sexiest people.
The basic Aquarius man traits include being the most sexiest people. No,
that's what I think. That's what I think. That's the top one, right? That's right there.
It did not say that.
No, it says it right there, bro. It says it right there. Let me see, though.
This is what it says.
Sexiest.
The basic Aquarius man traits include being a rebellion. Being a rebellion. That doesn't make any sense.
I can be an entire rebellion. I am the rebellion that will spark the light, that will start the fire, that will bring the empire down.
Okay, include being a rebellion, unique, charismatic, and spontaneous. They always think out of the box and are known for doing something against societal rules and agendas. Aquarius traits in a man are dominant in every aspect of life, be it personal or professional. That's what they say about you.
Wow.
That's what they say about you.
Wow, that's cute. Wait, search up a Leo really quickly.
Oh, I was gonna do mine next.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Why would I go to Leo?
I just wanted to hear what it would say. I was gonna make a point.
Do you know? Like
do your Scorpio. Do your Scorpio thing.
All right. Scorpio characteristics in men make them very protective and gentle at the same time. Whoa. Once in love, they showcase the best qualities a man can have. They are very devoted, loving, and faithful partners. Scorpio man takes their time to see and analyze things and only commit when they see a good reason to stay. See, that does sound kind of like me. It's kind of weird.
Only parts of that sound like you.
Parts of it sound like me. I feel like they don't sound ridiculously off, but I think that's part, like, for either of us. But I feel like that's part of the thing. You can kind of apply them to anybody.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. Because I feel like if you put me in, like, the Leo group, you'll find things that'll sound somewhat like me. And it'll be like, oh, you're a Leo.
So you spiritually a Leo?
I'm not spiritually a Leo. It's just I have traits that share with that Leo bag.
All right, let's see.
I wouldn't consider myself...
Leo man is very caring and chivalrous person. You are protective, warm, exceptionally helpful, fiercely loyal, and very generous. You are always ready to help others. Though you are proud, you will shrink to borrow money in order to lend it to someone. Oh, wow.
See, that also sounds like me.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe
I could lie to people and say that I'm a Leo when I'm not a Leo.
Maybe it's just you can apply these, but I don't know though. I feel like the Aquarius ones actually did still fit you more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, but if I told you I was born a Leo, you might say a different thing and be like, actually, I think
that's
Leo
true.
Like
that's true.
More.
Are zodiac signs real? Kevin and Sean answer the question.
No. I'm a man of science. Get that astrology bullshit up on my face, bro. But if you don't believe in the idea that you're born in a personality trait and you more like study it like, all right, some people have these personality types and they should try and explore other personality types.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what I wondered about it?
What?
I wondered if, like, it's less about this, like, people making it this, like, magical thing. I was like, what if there's, like, a weirdly deep psychological effect about what month you're born in?
What?
Like, what if, like, because you're born in the fall, then, like, every year you celebrate in the fall, right? And that does something to your personality. Because, like, think about it. Kids who had, like, summer birthdays never got to have their birthday parties with friends because, like, the school would just end or whatever. So they couldn't have it during the school year. They couldn't have, like, cupcakes brought to their school or whatever. So they would have to do, like, summer birthday parties. And maybe that, like, changes their personality.
You know what, Kevin? I think that is... I think that's true. I think it's subtle. It's not, like, the biggest thing that will define your personality trait.
Yeah.
But I do think being born and it's cold versus being born and it's warm changes a lot.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It changes
like,
a lot about you.
So maybe it's like that's what astrology signs are based on. I don't know. I'm just like, this is just me.
And maybe that does play into the whole game. So like, I won't say that's wrong. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But the fact that you can pick out that like someone will be more giving because they were born on like July or something.
Yeah.
That doesn't
I don't know.
Makes any sense.
Yeah. Maybe if they're born in like November and they feel
oh wait, you know what? It's starting to get to me now.
What?
Well, people born in cold months, well, this also depends on where you're from.
Yes.
Because if you don't have any cold months or it's always cold, then you're not going to have the same experience.
Very true.
But in Maryland specifically, right, we have cold winters, hot, like humid summers.
Yes.
And I was born in the cold winters where it would snow. So my birthday parties were always like a 50-50 if people could show up because it would always be snowing during my birthday.
Right.
So maybe that affects my personality.
Yeah. At least you could get the cupcakes though, like during the school year.
Yeah. Whereas the summer person, especially if you're middle of the summer, like what's July? Is that the middle of the summer or something?
Like June, July, August.
June.
Well, summer is just like
end of July, early August, right?
Yeah.
If you're born somewhere there, then like you can't invite people at your school. You have to have just genuine friends, like you talk to outside.
That's what I'm saying. Like that does a lot on you mentally growing up. Like the people who come to your birthday party. I know it sounds weird, but it's kind of true.
No, it's true. It's true because you're still developing just like who you are as a person. You're basing it a lot on your environment and what's around you in the early stages.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then you get older, like adult phase, and then it starts flipping where you base a lot of who you are on internal things.
Yes.
That you're exploring about yourself.
I feel like that's been like my journey for the past week, exploring myself.
Who is Kevin Kaufman?
Kevin Kaufman. Yeah. Well, maybe the past few months.
Yeah, maybe it's been an ongoing journey.
Yeah, but like I feel like I'm starting to. I feel like I'm starting to understand myself a little bit more and stuff like that, which feels good. It's a very good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you feel like you're onto something about yourself, you're like, and you're proven correct, like again and again. You're like, whoa, like.
Is this who I am?
Exactly.
That happens to me a lot when I just find out any little detail about myself that was like a subconscious thing.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know if we talked about this on the last pod, the whole dismissive avoidant thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well,
was that on the last pod?
I don't think we talked about it.
I don't think
actually.
Was that in the middle?
Maybe we did.
I don't remember, but just to quickly recall it for this particular podcast.
Yeah.
Finding that out like blew my mind because then I could actually pinpoint specific things in my life that I've either done or have felt, and it's because of these things that I responded to in my childhood.
Yeah,
I can understand why I make certain decisions without just making the decision, just being like, that's just how I feel, whatever.
Yeah, the personality test that my sister gave me over this break, if anybody's wondering. That's
that is powerful. Oh, maybe we talked about it like with your sister.
Yeah.
But I never took it at that time. I took it after the fact.
And I got the avoidant personality type as well. I can't remember what...
We just avoid things?
Yeah, I guess. I can't remember exactly what type of avoidant it was. I just remember it was something avoidant. I don't know if it was dismissive avoidant or a different type.
Anxious avoidant?
Was that... I don't think... Actually, maybe it was...
There's anxious attachment.
Wait.
Anxious avoidant and dismissive attachment. Dismissive avoidant. I think those are the four.
I don't know actually, but let me see if Ashley sent me a screenshot or something.
Apparently, I dismiss everything, which goes into a lot of the notes actually that I put in my journal. That like I didn't understand why I did that, but I do that.
I can't see it right now, but maybe I'll take it again and try to figure it out. And then bring it up on the podcast. But yeah, no, same. Like I was like, oh snap! Like I have an avoidant personality type. Like when there's a way to not have a problem, I prefer to not have the problem, which ends up causing more problems.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It builds up.
So I've been trying to get more in tune with my emotions and just like letting myself feel all my emotions. And I feel like, I know it sounds funny, but I feel like the AirPods have been so good because I can just like play songs that I want these like to feel those emotions like deeply, and then I can like really feel it like yeah, and it's like so like therapeutic. It's like so therapeutic. It's crazy.
AirPods?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like I know it sounds like I'm like the like freaking like advertisement guy for AirPods, but like literally get
AirPods changes your life.
That's what I'm saying. Like and then Sean and I have been like sharing AirPod audio so that we can like listen to
music together, and it's a crazy different experience.
And I would keep this as a secret just for us, but honestly, I think the world needs it because it's like so therapeutic. Like, listen to music with your friends on like AirPod, like share audio. You can do it with any Bluetooth headphones, but
you can.
I think, but I know AirPods can do it for a fact. And AirPods, like we talked about earlier, just have really good sound and stuff. But
yeah, just high quality. Because Apple bought Beats by Dre, so they just took all the nuggets from Beats by Dre and put into the AirPods.
I didn't know that. So are Beats just kind of like dead now?
Yeah, you know how nobody actually wears Beats anymore?
Yeah,
I think it's because Apple purchased them and just used the technology in their own products.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Because I remember there was a big hype about how beats sounded so nice because they would up the bass, and when I'm listening to AirPods, it sounds like the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So that's what it feels like. The AirPods are just really like Beats products, but they're Apple now.
Yeah.
So
you want to know what?
Good.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just gonna switch up the conversation because I had a random thought.
What was it?
You know what I've been trying to do more recently?
Sleep?
And you might have noticed this. Well, yes, but I've been getting good sleep. Like,
okay.
but like, I try when I'm in like a room to like have the best like vibe possible in the room as far as like lighting goes. Have you noticed that? So I'll like turn one light on, like another light off.
Yes, you have been more aware. You've been more aware of lighting than you have in previous weeks.
Because it's more fun. It's like you live life like you're in a movie. So you just like set the vibe of the room like the way you want it.
Yeah.
And then it's so much cooler.
It is way cooler.
It's like incredible. And you have these like lights that change color and stuff, so it like really does that. That's a good tip for anybody that wants to.
I think everyone should get color changing light bulbs. I don't care who you are or what situation you have or what living space you're in. Everyone should have some kind of color changing light bulb so that they can set the tone of their room to whatever they're feeling.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
These are like new things that we found.
I remember I had that Batman costume for a while, and this whole place was red.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was fun. It was
exactly. New things we found that can stimulate creativity is kind of what we're talking. Or just stimulate like your emotions, that you like kind of feel your emotions fully and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
that's why a lot of producers, whenever you think about the producer lighting setup, or I guess it's also like the gamer setup, it's always like rainbow colored lights going crazy all over the place.
Right.
It's because like seeing different colors at different times sparks different emotional responses, so it allows you to express more.
Right.
I don't know, it's weird. It's
weird. Something about the seasons. I know we talked a lot about seasons recently. But something about the season, this season in LA, I guess winter in LA is what we're doing right now.
Winter in LA, which is not really winter.
It's not really winter.
It feels like fall,
but I love it.
Yeah,
it's like I know it's cold, but it's not as bad as Maryland, so you can actually hang out outside. It's not
cold; it's chilly.
Yeah,
you know, it's chilly. Yeah,
at first I hated the chilly here because it was like chilly during like summer.
Yeah,
but now I'm like. But it stays the same level of chilly during winter.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, in that context, I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying, like you'll feel like it's bad, but then you go to Maryland and realize, like, what winter really feels like. And it's like, oh, shit. It's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. And I know a lot of people have, like, seasonal depression and stuff. And so it's like, if you have seasonal depression, consider the option of potentially one day moving somewhere where the seasons are less.
My friend has seasonal depression, which is ironic because Maryland is like the worst place to be in. If you
I know, because we get like all 4 seasons,
all 5, 6, 7. Like I feel like the weather there is crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
So, but she has seasonal depression, so she came out here to like San Diego, LA area for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, she felt like it was, like, such a vacation. So it was such bliss just to be here all the time. And, like, the beach is right there. And, like, you just feel this warm sun and everything. Like, it really, like, relaxed her mind. So she's now moving, like, near the West Coast.
Dude, I feel incredible right now. Maybe it's just because it is winter and it's not, like, cold.
Yeah.
But I've been vibing with the energy in the air. Like,
it's been good.
Really vibing with it.
It's been good.
And, I'm just...
Even though it's been, like, raining.
I don't even. Yeah, it's not been like great LA weather, all things considered. But like to me, I like it when it rains sometimes. So it's like because you can hear it and it sounds kind of cool and like
it does sound kind of nice when you're like chilling at night and you hear the rain going. But it's just very uncommon for LA weather to rain at all for a year. Like in 1 year, you'll get 1 week of rain straight and that's it. This time we've had rain like once every month, every so often, and apparently we had really hard, heavy rain just like a week ago. So
like right before we got back in town, right?
Right before we got back, it was really bad. So it's just LA's been a little different weather-wise, but even then, when LA does this like slight weirdness in weather, it's just like a minor difference compared to Maryland, where it's just like whack is just the weather.
I know it's like rain.
What's the weather today? Oh, it's about whack degrees.
Yep. Sounds about right.
There's a chance of whack rain. Like, it's all over the place.
Extremely surprising how much the weather can affect you
on your brain and your mind.
Yeah, just on you mentally.
And even questions like your creativity as well.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the history about how it goes in film is that filming really kind of started in New York, but New York has shitty weather conditions. So they're like, well, let's move to a place where it's like sunny all the time.
Because you can't have like the cameras getting wet and all that stuff.
Right. So instead of like waiting for the summertime in New York to shoot something, you can just have summer all the time and then just shoot whatever movie you want all the time. And then just bring in rain machines or snow machines or whatever. And that's why LA like works really well for film, because it doesn't really change like a lot in terms of weather conditions.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah, I never thought about it like that.
So think about that. When you think about it like that way, like, okay, so what does that mean like for creativity? Does it mean that you have like no like, I don't know, weather constraints on your whatever you create? Like you just kind of make whatever you want or go wherever you want any day of the week?
Alternatively, for the indie filmmaker, we were able to shoot when it was snowing in Maryland.
That's true.
Like, you need a snow machine out here. Like, that's expensive. Like, so we just powered through it. Like, it wasn't snowing too crazy. I mean, even if, like, snow is better than rain for cameras, because the snow, it's not, like, definitely gonna hit the camera or something.
It depends. If the snow hits the camera and it melts...
It's not
something. I guess it could. Yeah, I feel like snow is a little bit easier to handle. Yeah, I guess if it's snowing actively. Yeah,
I think so too.
Whereas rain is just a freaking mess.
Snow was cold. We were freezing our asses off.
No, it was freaking chilly.
Like we were like over the
cold.
In the like downtime, we were all just like
Yeah, it hurt. It definitely hurt. It's just another thing. It depends on what you need for a story. Because if my story was just like, there's no weather element that plays or affects the story at all, I would hate it to like go out and try to shoot on a day like March 16th or something, but then it randomly rains that day, so I have to change the date. Right. That would suck. Yeah. Whereas in LA you really won't have that issue,
but you need permits in LA. And you can get away without permits in Maryland for the most part. There's only one time I got kicked out of somewhere in Maryland.
It's rare to get kicked out anywhere. I shot, and this is like a big shooting no-no, but we shot at a hospital one time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And we didn't really get kicked out. No. They just told us like, do it somewhere more private and we won't bother you.
And we showed the hospital in the shot and stuff, and like...
Yeah, we did some big freaking no-nos.
But we were also under 18 at the time, so we knew we couldn't get in that much trouble.
That's true.
Which is like...
I low-key kind of miss the bliss of being like a child, because they're like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. You're just stupid. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Now you're an adult. You can just go to jail.
I know. It's no fun.
It's not fun anymore, man. They just bust you and go take your ass to fucking jail.
It used to be as a kid like, no balls, you won't.
No, you just do whatever.
There's no way you'll take me to jail. You don't have it. You have it. For like,
just do the wackest thing and see if they can push you.
Yeah, one time I almost got in trouble at like a mall for like playing with this bouncy ball too much. And I'm like...
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was like, we used to go to the mall with our friends in like middle school, and I bought this bouncy ball. I started like bouncing around the mall, but then we would like our friend group or whatever would like start like bouncing it on the lower, like the bottom.
Oh, I have a memory of this.
Like, we tried
trying to bounce
bouncing
it
and then bouncing it to the top of the floor. And this is me confessing, I guess, but like one time I bounced it on the floor and it like went up and it went like into this like AT&T store and just started like bouncing around. And then like the mall security started like looking for us, and I'm just like, oh no, I can't go to jail. But like, if you find a grown man playing with a bouncy ball, like
you are definitely going to jail.
What would they do? They'd be like,
they probably won't take you to jail, but they're probably saying, hey, knock it off. We see you do it again, we're going to call the cops.
I would be very concerned if I saw like a grown man playing with a bouncy ball in a mall. This is your sign to go play with a bouncy ball in a mall.
While you're a kid, at least.
No, while you're a grown man. This is your sign.
To go do it as a grown man?
This is your sign, yeah.
That's the thing, like, you can do so much crime as a child, because they're like, oh, you're just stupid. You don't know any better.
It's really wild if you think about it.
Yeah, and you can do, and like, it's not like you're dumb, like that dumb as a kid. You know half of the shit you're doing is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But you can get away with it.
Exactly.
You can get a fucking way with it. So, but on the other side, you have no real sense of independence.
That's the thing. You still are very much mentally a child.
Yeah.
Because, like, you haven't, like,
You have no responsibilities, and you rely so much on your caretaker for everything. So, Yeah, I guess part of adulting is that you gain independence, but you also gain responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you're irresponsible, they'll just take your ass to jail.
True that.
That's the thing. I guess this is as a kid, they can't blame you for things because you're not responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's interesting. It is weird when they shift it, because then you're like, oh wait, I'm responsible for myself now. What?
Yeah. What does that mean? So like, can I still do dumb shit? It's like, well,
like yes, but at your own risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like
exactly. Whereas before, it's on someone else's risk. It's someone else's issue. It's your
Right.
parents are
You
not being
assume
good
it's like
parents.
your-
Your
right.
teachers not being good teachers.
Right, yeah.
Not being watched by somebody. Whatever. It's on someone else's fault.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So different growing up.
I know, it's weird. It's just like
So
weird,
different, being
especially
responsible.
because like COVID, just like 2 years snapped by.
Yeah.
When we were from like 21 to like 23, basically.
20. No, we were 20 to
20 to
22.
22. Yeah.
Just 2 years.
So we were. I feel like
During
we
that
were
development period
like
of being an adult.
Right, and we couldn't even like drink yet before then and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
That's what I say. Sometimes COVID to me feels like it was more of like a. It feels like it was fast because I did the same thing a lot of the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
It took a lot of years out of us that just like were.
I feel like they just
mundane.
disappeared. Yeah. So now I'm like, all right, now that we're able to sort of kind of function, like maybe it's time to live a little more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Even though you're technically even more of an adult now, so you can get even more buzz. I hope everyone.
Yeah. Well, when I say live a little, I don't mean like go commit crimes. I just mean like. Get out of the house, like, take more risks, this, that.
Just do more.
All that sort of thing.
Because we literally couldn't do more.
Exactly.
Then.
Yeah.
We can do more now. Yeah. I see what you mean.
But I'm also learning the power of, I feel like there's like different, like, types of ways you can do that. You don't have to get outside to
be outside.
To live differently. Yeah.
Look, I always tell people, I say this phrase a lot, like, oh, I'm outside. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm literally outside. It just means that, like, I'm out here. Like, I'm seeing what's going on. Like, I'm living presently. That's what it means to be outside.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'm outside, man. I'm seeing what y'all doing.
I'm outside.
I'm doing things, too.
That's what I'm saying. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. In terms of entertainment, this past week I've seen a couple new films. Well, they're not new films; they're old films.
Yeah.
But I'd like to talk about them with you because I have a refreshed mind on how I see these movies.
Yeah.
And first one I'd like to talk about, I saw Unbreakable.
Right.
And then before I watched the movie, I was like, oh, I love this movie. Like, the ideas in it are so cool and everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like those went away, but now watching it again and being so actively aware of it, it feels really slow.
Yeah, I always loved that movie. I knew it was kind of long. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I rewatched it, it would feel slow. But I remember liking it all the way through. Yeah.
For me, it was like, I love the reveal at the end. I love the characters in it. I like the way that, like, this character, like, learns little bits and things. How old is the movie?
2000.
I can talk about it then, right?
Yeah.
All right, spoilers. But, like,
spoilers for
the
Unbreakable.
way David Dunn slowly realizes that he has super abilities after this train accident is, like, holy shit. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, what the fuck?
It's
like,
pretty awesome.
He's like, bro, like, when was the last time I was sick? It's like, oh shit.
I was never.
Like, oh shit. I was never sick. Like,
I thought that was so cool growing up. I remember, like, when I watched it, I was like, wait, have I ever been sick? I was like, oh yeah, I have.
Not all of us are super special. But it makes you question, like, it's just enough in reality where you think, is it possible that there are, like, super beings out there?
I know, right? That's what I like about that movie. I'm like, wow, maybe there is somebody who's just, like, invulnerable to sickness or something.
Yeah, Mr. Glass said it in the movie, but he was like, if a guy was, like, super powered, you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
He'd just be living a regular life.
Dude, I've never gotten a cavity. I have the most super teeth of all time.
I've also never gotten a cavity.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, we literally have super teeth. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I also never broken a bone in my body.
Neither have I.
Holy shit, bro.
Hey!
Bro, I think we're like...
That's what I'm saying.
Like the super bone people.
Dude, we're the super bone nerd bros.
We're the super boners. Bro,
I can't believe we just said that out.
We have to be a super team, bro. The super boners. Oh my god. Yes, I love it. I love it. That's what it is.
Super boners?
Who's our main villain?
The super broners.
Ew, no. Don't roll me in with the broners. I don't know who those people are. That sounds awful. It's like Super Smash Bros, but worse. Like significantly worse.
That's so
the
awful.
broners.
It's incredible.
Anyway,
I love it.
it was fun seeing this slow reveal. But what you realize is that the reason why the movie is an hour 45 or what, it's not a long movie when you literally think about the time,
right,
but it's long in terms of what are the events that's actually happening in this movie.
Right.
Because they spend 30 minutes on him figuring out that he's never been sick. Then they spend another 30 minutes figuring out that he's never been injured.
Right.
And they have backstories for like both of these. So it's like kind of a fun mystery, but it's like these are really small details. You know? It's not like it's not a big emotional event that's occurring. It's just a little small detail that he's realizing.
Yeah.
And then the third act of the movie is fucking fantastic. Oh my god. Because now he's like, all right, if I am a superhero, what does that mean in the real world? Right. And then you see him try to be a superhero in the real world, and it's fucking exciting.
Yes. At the stadium.
Huh?
At the stadium.
No, at the house.
Oh.
At the Orange Man.
Wait, I thought the one when he was like, I thought like it was like the stadium. There's like some guy with a bomb, and there's like a highlight, and he's like,
wait, what? There's a guy with a bomb?
Or maybe not a bomb, but it's like, okay, there's a guy at like the stadium that he's looking for, and he's like gets his hood on, but he's like able to like see things that kind of glow.
Yes, okay, that's part of him finding out that he's a superhero in like the second act, where like he's hanging out with Mr. Glass and he notices someone suspicious because they like bumped into each other.
Yeah,
and then he says like, oh, this guy has a silver gun with a black handle.
Right. And
then Mr. Glass is like, how do you know that? He's like, oh, you're right. I don't know that. Like, why would I know that? I don't know why he said that. That was crazy. And then Mr. Glass chases the guy that he thought was suspicious, and he did have a silver gun with a black handle.
Wait, so he has like extra superpowers too?
No, like he's not just really strong. The David Dunn has this ability
AKA Bruce Willis.
AKA Bruce Willis in the movie. Has this ability to sense the wrong things that people have done or are doing by touch.
Yeah.
So, like, and that's what makes that last reveal so crazy, because, like, Mr. Glass, like, figures out he has this ability and then it's like, shake my hand. And then David Dunn shakes Mr. Glass's hand, and then he sees all the horrible crimes that he's committed.
Right.
And it's all that just for Mr. Glass to say, like, yeah, I've realized that I'm a fucking villain, bro.
Yeah.
I am a super villain. Because you're a superhero.
That was the coolest reveal at the end. I know, like, M. Night Shyamalan plot twists are, like...
this is one of his good ones. Yeah, I know everyone hates it, but, like...
Yeah, this was the good one.
He has good twists. Like, Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Fantastic twist. Phenomenal twist. And here's another really good one, also with Bruce Willis, where it's like... Yeah, Mr. Glass was the supervillain this whole fucking time.
Yeah,
I just didn't realize.
I remember when I first got that reveal, I was like, no. He's like, yeah, that was
Betrayal.
So cool. And like he's like the opposite. Like he has like that disease where like his bones break or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a reveal that the comics are real in a sense.
And he like hates Bruce Willis because Bruce Willis is so unbreakable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like his hate is also a love, because he found who he was in the world because of Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Because of the fact that it's like, this guy is unbreakable and he has this innate nature to protect people, and all he can do is fucking murder people. Because he has like this, I think he has a really deep hatred about the world, because every other human gets to live a regular life. Yeah. And he has this shitty ass fucking bones break easily bullshit he has to deal with. Yeah. So he just hates the world because of it.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's like, well, if this is what I'm supposed to be for the world, so be it.
So he doesn't feel like he owes anybody anything, and in fact he thinks he wants to...
Exactly, yeah, no. So like the third act of this movie, the last 20-25 minutes, I guess maybe it's like the last 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes of this movie, fucking chef's kiss perfect.
Incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. But the first hour?
Yeah.
First hour 20 where he's just figuring it out?
It's not.
You could do this in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You didn't have to spend an hour figuring this bullshit out.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. It's an acquired taste. Maybe some people like the really slow pace to figure out a little detail. But I really sat there feeling like, okay, I know you had to show all these little details to lead up to this, but you could have done this in a short amount of time,
right?
And I would have gotten the same response.
Yeah, fair enough. So, what do you think about Split?
Split, I feel like takes that thing about finding information, but does it in quicker time.
Okay.
And gives you more information to kind of play with.
Yeah, and you liked it?
So, yeah. So, after Unbreakable, which I do highly recommend if it's your first time, and I somewhat recommend if it's like your third or fourth time.
Right.
But either way, it's really good. I then moved on to Split because I'm trying to lead up to Glass.
Right. So Split's the semi...
Split
well, is it
is
old enough to even say?
How old is Split?
I guess it's no secret that they're all related because Mr. Glass trailer.
The Glass trailer, I guess the Glass trailer reveals it, but I don't want to go anything past that.
They're not really related. Split's basically
spoilers.
a separate movie, so...
Hold on, let me try to figure out... Let me really quickly look at when Split came out, because I do want to be considerate for the because we had someone over the other day that, like, didn't watch Split at all.
Oh, yeah.
So for them, it was the first time.
Yeah.
Split release date. Is it 10 years that we said?
Yeah, but, like...
2016 is, like, 3 years away.
Let's not spoil Split.
I won't spoil Split, but I will talk about the things that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'll try to be not specific on anything else.
All right.
But, so I went into Split the other day, and it has a very similar topic as Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But it goes about it in, like, this, like, thriller, horror-y type of way where it's like, this figure is really scary. You don't know what they're going to do next because they have split personalities.
Right, right.
And the way you discover certain things in the movie, I really liked it. I really, really, really like it.
I remember liking Unbreakable more. I remember Split confusing me at the end, but I don't want to get into the detail of why.
We won't get into the detail. Yeah. Is it like the very last scene, or like is it just like the?
It's I don't understand one of the.
Or you mean like the climax?
Yeah, the climax.
Oh, I see. I see. The climax.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually really. I like it because when you think about it as a whole, like, it goes into this idea of, like, you know, people are special and they can do maybe extraordinary things when you think that they're just normal or they're weird. It's this idea that, like, society dismisses people all the time when these people could actually be extraordinary people.
Yeah, that's a good concept. I like that.
So with the whole ID thing, or the DID, or the I forgot what the scientific term of it is called, but split personality disorder, right? The main character has split personality disorder, and a lot of the characters that aren't super involved with the story, they all dismiss it like, oh, they're just insane.
Right.
They're just crazy. These aren't actually different people living in one body.
Right, yeah.
But the story goes into this whole idea that from very traumatic situations, this person's brain could actually create different people to deal with different situations, and that this whole idea of these split personalities being people, like, this is a real thing.
I remember because I remember like hearing about it in the past, and like it's like it can be a thing from like childhood when like you have the protector as one personality, and then you have like the vulnerable child as one personality.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. It's like sometimes you need to switch off the like victim mindset in your head because you need to take control. You need to like deal with something, take control.
Yeah, to a smaller extent, I do that. Where sometimes I'm like,
sometimes it's not like multiple personality disorder, but it's like like same concept or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I don't have the full disorder like that, but there are some situations or days where I'm like, I can't deal with this right now, but King Cudjo can. So then I put on the King Cudjo like the person, right? So like I can understand the reasoning why that could even occur. Like I do that like all the time.
Yeah.
Just to a lesser extent. Like I know it's still me, but it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you try to activate different people inside of you so that you can deal with certain things.
I would say that's true, and I would say that's been important for me too. It's like you have to have like multiple modes. You have to have like the mode where you can fully, give into every one of your emotions and feel upset and feel angry. And then you have to have the business mode where it's like, I'm not going to let anything upset me and I'm going to get my work done. And I'm not going to worry because I can't worry in this mode. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it from that point of view. Not trying to say that I know what it's like to have multiple personalities.
Or that Split is even an accurate depiction of that, because I hear that it's not accurate.
If somebody tries to TMZ me off this, I swear. Don't do it.
No, yeah. If you're gonna take the clip, take the whole clip. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's my main beef with the TMZers of the world.
Right.
They try to take a little thing of what you said and then make it sound so out of pocket.
We're just saying we can understand how that could happen, especially if it's from a very traumatic point when you're a child. I think that makes a lot of sense. When it's something really bad when you're a kid.
Overall, I love Split, actually. I'm not someone that's into thrillers or horrors or anything like that, but Split's definitely in probably, it has to be one of my 100 favorite movies.
Really? Okay, word.
Has to be in there. Just because I love the character. I like the ideas that they try to portray. I think they do it in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
The twist is exciting.
I would definitely put Unbreakable in one of my top 100, probably. I loved it. I watched that movie so many times. That's the only reason I didn't rewatch it with you, because I've seen it.
And I can understand why.
I can recall the scenes, like every scene, basically.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand. Some movies, when you see them too much, it's like, I cannot see this.
It's like songs. It's like, I just want to experience the song over and over again for the rest of eternity, but I don't want to get sick of this song.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
I'm better than most at not getting sick of songs and being able to replay them. But when I got a tune stuck in my head, it's not going away for a while. And I like that because it's I get to experience it a lot. And then when you revisit it later, it's really nice.
That's true. That's true. You gotta let it sit for a while. If I find a song that I really, really like, I don't play it often, but what I do is I'll put it in a group of songs and play this group of songs often, so it comes up often.
Right. But so in a way, it's you're you feel guilty about playing it because you're oh, it's not gonna be as good next time.
No, it's not even that I feel like it's not gonna be as good next time. It's just I don't want to get tired of it.
Yeah,
I don't want to wear it out.
Isn't that a weird thing that we do as people, wearing out this thing?
Yeah, why can't we like one thing for... It's the same thing with food, because other animals can eat the same thing for their entire life.
Every day.
But for us, it's if we eat the same thing, even 3 days in a row, it's I cannot eat it again.
Why do we tire so easily is the question.
Why do we tire so easily?
And then we're built in a society... Damn, I'm getting too existential.
We are built in a society.
But I'm we live in a society.
Now every essay we live in a society.
But yes, this is true. Where marriage is so expected and all this stuff.
Marriage, and having children, a little dog with a fence.
Right. And it's just interesting because it's
oh, maybe that's just the
people.
That's the American way.
We just talked about, people tire so easily. So no wonder 50% of marriages or whatever end in divorce. It's
people get tired.
People need
of each other.
People need a rotating cast. Yeah, it's true. People need a rotating cast to a certain degree. I'm not saying I'm not against marriage or something, but I'm just saying I can
you
see
should, if you're going to get married, there's definitely a work ethic or there's something you have to do to try and keep it fresh.
Yes.
Because
you gotta have somebody who can explore different aspects of both of your personalities together.
Exactly.
You need to have someone
you can always be exploring with. I think is important for a marriage because, I can't. It'd be so dull to have to deal with this one person for the rest of your life.
Especially if they only had one mode. If they only had no they only had the mode say we're talking about kind of personalities. Say they only had the mode of being too cautious, or they only had the mode of being too risky. Either way, those would get tiring because you'd be I'm done taking this many risks, or I'm done being this cautious.
That's true.
You need somebody who's gonna kind of fluctuate with you on that, and then you guys can hopefully balance it out together. But it's hard to get the perfect balance of that.
Yeah, maybe that's what finding love or trying to find a wife or a husband or whatever, so be it, your partner is about.
Yeah.
Because part of it is you want someone similar enough to you where it's you can explore a lot of things together.
Yes.
But you also want to find someone that's different from you, that has their own life and aspirations or whatever, so that they can push you to be better.
Right.
So it's that delicate balance. It's you need to be like me, but not completely like me. There's a gray area.
There's no blueprint for that too. It's hard to know exactly what you need until you get it, and it feels feels better than it did before or something.
And some marriages are just literal like partners, like almost like business partners, where it's like transactional. It's like, look, I want a kid, you want a kid. We agree to take care of this person together, and we'll split up the work or whatever. We'll take care of each other financially if anything happens to either of us.
That almost might be better on the kid in the long run.
Yeah, and that's fine if that's what you want to have.
Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, but then again, maybe the kid then wouldn't have this, like, dream of some epic fantasy. But maybe it's worse when kids do have that dream.
I think you have to... That's a delicate line. You have to teach your kids to dream big, because you don't want your kid to be cynical out the gate. That's gonna destroy them mentally.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you need, right? That's true.
You need to be hopeful in the beginning, and then you can break their sense of reality down the line.
As Billy Joel says, "Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true."
Exactly. Because I feel like a lot of these kids these days, like younger than us, they're so like hopeless. Like they don't really believe that there's like good things in this world. I think you're right,
and I think
it freaks me out because I'm like, well, how are you going to inspire to create?
Why do you think that
things?
Is? Why do you think they're so hopeless? I feel like we were not hopeless.
Yeah, I think we were better off. And again, there could be a parenting thing where parents around this time were just bad people, and they produce a kind of not a good, safe environment for children. It could be that the world we have more access to the world, and we can see what it really is at the youngest stages of our lives.
Right, like virtually now, or on TV, you can see it everywhere.
Right. I was talking to these people for like, I think it was last Easter. Me and like my previous roommates, we were talking to like this like older lady.
Yeah.
And she was saying like back in her time, they were just talking about like boys and like who are they like attracted to and like just really simple stuff. But kids nowadays, we talk about politics and the world and what's going on with Russia and what's going on with this and climate change. Like we talk about actual issues that matter, whereas the teens and young adults of the previous generations, they didn't get to see all of that.
You know, this is interesting because it's like it's kind of like a moral argument on like what you should be thinking about. I personally feel like some people obviously have to think about really important issues, but some people, they don't. And that definitely comes out of a place of, you know, maybe being privileged, your parents being well off.
Yeah, maybe you're privileged enough not to have to think about it.
Right, not have to think about it. And maybe that's where that lady was coming from. But sometimes I think it's healthy on the mind to think of things a little simpler. Like sometimes when you get too caught up in like the politics of how to say something correctly on the internet, like it's so stressful because you're like, I don't want to offend anybody, I don't want to word this wrong, I don't want to word that wrong. And what if you're just genuinely just not trying to, and it's like you're genuinely not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, it's true, but what I'm trying to realize is like anybody with an opinion is gonna offend someone. So like you might not like that people don't like you, but people with strong opinions are the people that you end up hearing.
That's true. Like Trump.
I mean, he has strong opinions.
Very strong opinions.
You know what I'm saying? But like, that goes both ways though. Like, you definitely like heard, you know, like Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders also had a lot.
Bernie Sanders also again has strong opinions.
That's why like a lot of times like in like the party system or whatever, it's like the like most like liberal or the most conservative person ends up like being the head runner because like
they're so loud and vocal.
They're so loud and
very high-strung opinions.
Exactly, which is interesting because I hear people say, and again, I'm not very actually well read up on politicians, but I hear people say that Biden's kind of more in the center, like he's like kind of.
I think the thing is, we keep talking about how like this country is divided and blah 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 blah, but in America, like there is this giant divide that's been occurring because I think a lot of Republicans felt resurged by the idea of a Donald Trump. Like he was saying things that they've always cared about that the other Republicans were just ignoring. Right? But on the Democrat side, they felt like, okay, if we go for someone as opinionated as Trump on our spectrum, which is probably Bernie Sanders, then we're going to alienate anyone that was in the middle.
Oh, right.
Because they don't want to go too high-strung into the Democratic Party like that.
Right.
So their strategy for this last election was, let's pick someone who's just safe enough that some middle people and maybe some soft Republicans can switch over.
From a from a strategy standpoint, it's a pretty good strategy.
It makes sense.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It worked.
Yeah.
I think a lot of states that like did not fully agree with the super liberal ideas of Bernie Sanders could be like, well, Biden didn't say all that, and Trump's annoying, so we're just gonna side with him. That's the idea. Like, Biden is the whole nation's fallback guy.
Yeah.
Where like he's a safe answer for all of us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why he was elected.
Okay, wait. I want to switch up the conversation for a second, just because this reminded me.
Damn, we're getting there on my political bag.
I know, right? Oh no, this is still going to be in your political.
Oh, okay,
bag.
good.
But that's a good point. But there was somebody that we had at our apartment the other day, and we had like a really interesting conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she is she's from LA,
right?
And she
a native.
Yes, yeah, like LA native, and we're Maryland natives, right?
Right.
And we grew up in Maryland, like dreaming of like the West Coast and this like romanticized version of
City
Hollywood,
of Stars,
right?
The
and,
big Hollywood sign.
Let's go explore and
always
live,
sunny,
right? And let's not worry too much, and let's have a good time. Whereas she grew up in LA being like, oh my gosh, I like just want to be in DC. I just want to be around the monuments, and I want to be working in politics, and I want to do this and I want to do that. Meanwhile, Sean and I are kind of like, get us the fuck away from all the politics.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that bullshit anymore. It's stressing me out.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think just growing up in DC made us like a lot of our friends and stuff are very in tune with like the political state of the world.
That's what we were doing on weekends. We would go to protests instead
like our
of the mall
and stuff.
That was a high school thing to do.
No, and it was nice to get active sometimes. Like I liked it, but like on the whole, like
I want to do that all the time.
My thoughts like aren't usually made up of like who's running in this next election. It's just like not what I usually think about. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually it's like a song that's going on in my head instead. No,
it's a minor concern amongst what song should be in our head at this point.
Yeah. Hey, and you could say that's because I don't have to worry about it, and that's a luxury though. So I understand that some people, it's like they really got to focus on.
That's true. For some people, every election is extremely important.
Yeah.
I understand that. But also sometimes for some people, like the elections, a lot of people feel like the elections don't matter because for the last 2 elections, no one ever felt like they chose somebody that they wanted to choose. I feel like someone that they had to choose.
Well, it becomes a thing of like that's always confused me in high school. I mean, I understand it in concept, but it's like, you can't really choose who you want to vote for because there's like a societal pressure. I keep saying society. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, there's like, society. This essay better be a fucking A+, man.
You can't really choose who you actually like want to vote for because there's like this like societal pressure to vote for the leading. What's it called? We learned about this in NSL. It's like there's a societal pressure to vote for like the leading man in the party because if you don't vote for the leading man and you vote for like the random person, then it's like a wasted vote.
Yeah.
Yes. And like it's kind of
the
true.
2-party system.
But I don't.
No, on paper, it is literally true.
But I don't love the fact that people are just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like you must like just choose like A or B. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. First of all, it's not reflective on what people actually think in politics. Because I think it creates this idea that all Democrats have the same ideas on politics and all Republicans have the same ideas on politics. When we're actually, I think each person is more complex than that.
Dude.
It's just we don't have a choice.
It literally makes people think that life is right and wrong.
Yeah.
Whichever side you're on, like it literally gives a concept. Like this like complex.
Yeah. Like
my side is right and the other side is wrong.
Exactly.
And then you have to support
like
somebody who usually is like super left or right because they're the main leading man because that's going to get the most votes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as a society you think one side is right and one side is wrong. Like this happens so frequently. I know so many people
like
like
are more complex than that.
I know, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
It's not black and white. Like people go through have experiences.
I know my friends' beliefs. I think to a certain degree, and I can like love my friends and appreciate them for that. And it just feels like icky that like I feel like people have to like sometimes
lie about what they
lie or perform, and it's like why can't you just have a conversation with your friends in your like apartment and like that's enough? Why do you have to like you know what I'm saying?
And I'll play devil's advocate here because
Yeah.
I think there is a point for some people where it's like they have to be so passionate about these ideas because some of these issues are extremely real issues. Right?
That's true.
Climate change could kill us all.
True.
Right? Police brutality is gonna kill some of us.
You're right. You're right. And I don't blame the person who actually wants to go and advertise their beliefs because it's a good thing to do if you think you have, a solid argument for what's
and
correct.
it's like some of these issues do have to be talked about.
True, it's true.
You
but at the
can't be
same
sidelined.
time, I think it would be untrue to deny the fact that there is a pressure to like for like from some of those people to have like more people follow them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I mean that's the politics game, right? It's trying to get as many people because in the politics game, every person is a point in power.
Yeah.
So the more people you have, the more power you have.
So that's why it kind of becomes
that's the whole game.
Right, but then it kind of becomes this like fear thing. It's like
it becomes easily toxic and manipulative because it's not really what may have started in good intentions is now leading to this game of like you have to manipulate people to be on your side.
Right.
And it almost becomes evil.
Yeah.
Right? Even though it's well intentioned, right? Some of these issues are very serious, but you're doing very manipulative things to try and get that point across.
It's so funny, man. Just like when we had our guest over the other day, because like she was so passionate to talk about like politics and stuff like this. And
she's
like
a very
and
polarizing
Sean and I
person.
Have friends that like talking about politics, and like we like talking about politics on occasion too. It's not like we're completely void of all politics. That's not who we are as people. But she like only wanted to talk about politics.
I can tell with this person, she gets a rise out of it. It's like it like excites her to talk about political things.
It just tells you that there's like these West Coast kids who grow up like admiring DC and like the political landscape, and they're like, oh, but I'm on the West Coast, I'm not involved in that. And then they like go off to like DC and they become politicians. Yeah. And then there's kids who grow up on the East Coast and they're surrounded by politics, and they're like, oh my gosh, get me away from the politics. I just want to do art. And then they go to the West Coast and like romanticize.
It's like completely opposite. Because I think it's like when you're on the West Coast maybe, and I can't speak for their experience because I haven't lived it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like for them, they feel like everyone's ignoring the politics.
Yeah.
They're just acting like everything's fine when everything's not fine. So it's refreshing to go somewhere where like
people care.
No, we know what's going on. We're trying to change it. And it's like, all right, good. Like, they get excited by that.
You're so right.
Whereas for us, it's like, bro, I am so sick of hearing you talk about how this person said this one thing about another person that makes them evil.
It's like gossip on a massive scale sometimes.
That's what it feels like when you live next to DC.
Right.
It's just really big gossip.
Yeah.
With some actual real world in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'd rather just go somewhere. I'd rather go to a beach and just hang out.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I feel like my mind was blown when I realized that she was like the West Coast version of us.
She is the West Coast version of us.
Like we are her and she is us. Like it's like the same. Like that's why I'm like we're all the same. So
we are
can't
really
we just
all
appreciate
the same.
like everybody because we're all the fucking same.
Yeah, we're all the fucking like all of us in all the different corners of the world. We all have different experiences, of course. Yeah. But at the heart of it, we're all the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like. And I get you have to make a judgment call somewhere. You have to like decide where somebody's a bad person somewhere. But I think as a general rule, just like assuming that we all have something in common is like a good starting point.
I think even with your worst enemy, you have something in common with them.
That's what they say. Like Mr. Glass and Unbreakable. Mr. Glass was the most breakable, and Unbreakable he was the least breakable.
They are connected.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna loosely connect this to there was that series I was watching earlier about that serial killer. What was his name?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and I'm gonna say something kind of complex, but follow me here.
I'm following.
Follow me here. There's this idea that the reason why he was like with all these men and killing them and eating them is because he wanted to be closer to them.
What?
He wasn't. I'm not gonna say that he wasn't malicious. This guy was like. It almost feels like he was bred for evil.
Right.
But it was out of love in a really weird, sick sense.
Like he couldn't like make friends or something?
Yeah, so he was a really lonely guy. He could never have like he could never keep people around because he was so fucking weird.
Oh.
And so occasionally there would be like a guy like this would happen in the show.
Yeah.
that occasionally you have a situation where a guy would be around. Like, there was a hitchhiker that wanted to go to a concert, apparently, so they stay at his place for a couple hours.
Right.
And eventually, these people would be like, all right, that was fun, but, like, I'm going to leave now. And he'd be like, no, you cannot leave me. Like, do not leave me alone. And the only way he could keep them around was by killing them.
Whoa. So
in a really sick sense, and it's really complicated, but I think the show really does its best in, like, portraying the complexity of Jeffrey Dahmer and why he was doing the things he was doing.
Yeah.
But a part of it was 100% out of love.
That's
because
weird,
he wanted people around. He didn't want to be alone.
It's like a really fucked up coping mechanism.
Yes. Real, like, as messed up as it gets.
Yeah.
But in that sense, right? We all look for love.
A lot of action.
All of us feel lonely sometimes and want to feel the experience of love with somebody else and have them around.
Right.
So, not that I relate to a serial killer, but
you're like,
all humans. I'm watching every word that I say right now. I'm watching every word because I do not condone a single. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer is fucking evil. But he was a human being. That's what I can say.
That, like, literally is true. Like, he is a human being.
Exactly. Like, I think just, like, a lot of humans forget that all humans are human beings.
I actually have this theory that a lot of the true crime stuff is, like... And not saying... Because I've enjoyed my big amount of true crime back in my day. But it's, like, people like watching it because we're, like... How could these monsters exist? But it's, like, those monsters, like... They are human. Like, you're painting it as, like, somebody who doesn't exist. Like, that's a real
you're
person.
Painting them like they're these creatures that with only one motive, and they're, like, forces of nature, and they're just, like, these, like, archetypes or caricatures. But, like, that's the thing about real life compared to stories. Sometimes in a story, a character just exists for a purpose, right? They're just there to be the bad guy.
Right,
they're there to be this or that. But in real life, every human being you come across is another human being. And they have an innate nature to want certain things, just like every other human.
Yeah.
Right? The want to be loved, the want for survival. Like, we all have those things. It might push us in different directions, but we all have that same want.
I don't get why, like, there's so much denial of the fact that, like, all humans have the same emotions.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know what I mean?
We all have the same emotions.
Like, why do we act like... The number one thing, though, in life is, like, making money. Like, what emotion does that, like, fulfill in you? Like, I get it, because, I mean, this is coming from an arts kid, but, like, I get that, like, security is necessary before you can do a lot of things a lot of the time, but I'm like, maybe we should focus a bit more on, like, we talked about this in, like, a past episode, but it's, like, on your mental health, and, like... maybe your, like, emotions, like, should be what you can, like, satisfy, like, first thing before you explode. Yeah. Because you live a lifestyle that you were taught to live and you dislike it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you just have to find a lifestyle that you enjoy living. Like, why is that?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, with money, there's a complexity to it because... When people say that they want money, I don't think that's actually genuinely true.
That's what I'm saying.
Money is like a bus, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to ride the bus? No, but it gets you to where you want to be.
True. That's a good analogy.
Money isn't really what you want. It's what money could get you.
Right.
And it's different for every person, right?
Yeah.
Some people want money because they come from a very poor situation. Right. And they want to get themselves out of it and raise their own families out of it.
True.
Some people feel pressure where, like, their parents were big money makers. So if they're not a big money maker, they're like, excluded from the family.
It's a lot about need, want.
Needs and wants. Egos.
Like,
needs, wants, ego.
Yeah. Human nature.
Some people just don't like the way that, like, a man, like, will hate if a woman passes them up. So they're going to try their hardest to get super duper rich so they're never passed up again. It's like these little motivations.
That's true. Sometimes it's like a really small thing.
Exactly.
That, like,
working out at the gym. Oh my God, I've seen so many memes about that.
Yeah.
Where, like, guys getting in the gym because they got rejected by a girl or yada yada yada. Right. And, like, I'm saying, like, money isn't a real motivation.
Yeah.
It's something beneath the money or something after.
Why do we try
to
disguise it as the real motivation?
I think it's because people don't want to talk about the real issue at hand. You know what I mean? The person that has rich parents, like that other example I was talking about, rich parents, but they want to feel excluded in the or they want to feel included in the family.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about that shit. It hurts.
Yeah.
So I gotta just say I'm a money grabbing asshole. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. I have noticed there are like some points in some families that you just don't talk about. Like, it's survival. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you just gotta find a way to maintain the peace to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Sometimes that ends up being an avoidant family type.
Yeah.
Sometimes that ends up being an anxious family type. But I feel like people tend to stray away from anxiety as a whole because it's like probably
from wanting anxiety or like
I've met like a lot of like avoidant families. I haven't met that
I feel
many.
like low-key I feel like every family is an avoidant family.
I don't know if I've met many like anxious families or something. Like where like everybody's like anxious to each other or something.
Anxious to each other.
I don't even know what that would look like. I'm just like talking in the personality types.
Yeah, because I think the opposite of avoidant is attachment.
Attachment?
Yes.
So what would an attachment family be like?
Yeah, I was gonna say because avoidant families they don't talk about certain things. But attachment families
they talk about everything together.
They talk about everything or something. They're like too close to each other.
If you're an attachment family and you're in one, like let Sean and I know because I would like to pick your brain.
But there's unhealthy things about being too attached because it means that you're like anxious to let go of it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it means you know your family's like following your every move, and you can't really do anything on your own because you can't take any risks because everybody's watching every moment. Kind of.
Yeah, there's definitely people are so complex, but in like the most beautiful way possible.
That's what I'm saying. We're just appreciating humanity on this episode.
I really do love I was talking to someone years ago. In fact, it might have been our good friend Emmy. We were talking about would we rather be in like the middle of the woods, or in the middle of like a really crime-filled like street or something.
Right.
And I said I'd rather be around like the crime-filled street because I don't know, I love humanity and I love people and I feel like even if there's a situation where like I'm getting attacked or mugged or robbed or something, like there's another human out there that I can reach to that like will understand or try to help me. But in the woods, it's you versus nature, and nature doesn't give a fuck about you. Like nature doesn't care.
Did Emmy like the?
Emmy said nature.
Yeah.
Emmy said nature because she feels like she can trust that a bear probably wants to attack her. She doesn't trust people. Like people have different intentions that are always hidden or being sweetened with words or it's hidden behind traumas. Like people are a wild card to her, so she'd rather be in the woods where she can trust what everything is.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a different way of looking at life.
That's interesting. That is really interesting.
Yeah, where are you? Would you rather be in the woods or on like a crime-filled street?
I don't know now. I feel like I like both, but like different times a day.
Well, of course everyone likes both, but this is not a both question. This is a yes or no question. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes I like to get away from people and go to the woods. But sometimes I really miss people and being around people, so I mean,
in this moment, the woods sounds better.
Really?
But I feel like if I woke up tomorrow, I could say the other thing. I really feel like I can't really decide.
Oh, I see.
But I feel like right now, the woods sounds better.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's much more... It's a like although like we talked about how there is so much gray area, like it's a little bit more like in the woods is a little bit less gray area. It's like a little bit more clearly to see the kind of like like the active threats, for example, like a bear, like you said, like it's clearer because like with humans, like you said, like Jeffrey Dahmer might not look like he's like a threat, and then like
he's like the biggest threat of all time.
I think in the forest, like you can see the active threats a little bit more clearly, like taken out. And there's something peaceful about that because you're like, I can like analyze my surroundings that are right here, and I can like tell what is safe and what's not. Yeah, so I feel like I might choose the forest.
Interesting.
Right now.
For right now.
Yeah.
But that's subject to change.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, maybe. Fair. I mean, maybe it will change. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, it's a complex question because it's really, even though we're using the environment to judge the question, it's really a question of your perspective on the world.
Right.
Not really the environment itself.
Yeah.
Because both of them suck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Respectfully, most of them kind of suck. And also are kind of bliss in their own unique way.
That's what I'm saying. That's interesting. Anyway, how long has this episode been going? Oh, snap.
Over?
We're like way over.
We're not way over.
I think we're at like 1:30.
I think we've done an episode longer than this.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is like the second longest episode, maybe, I think. Or third.
It's top 5.
So we should probably wrap it up. But, wow. That was quite the episode.
That was a great episode.
A detox from the episode itself. Like,
that was a lot to unpack there.
But yeah, I mean, that was kind of the first time. I mean, I feel like we got really meta on this episode for some reason.
It was really meta. I mean, we kind of talked about ourselves, but also the world society. Yeah. We talked about society and how the two are one and the same.
Yeah, it was really therapeutic. I feel like it's nice to analyze sort of like mindset sometimes rather than just like things.
I mean, we'll go back to bullshit tomorrow.
Yeah,
the next episode we'll only talk about bullshit.
Sorry if we got got you in your head too much, but hey, try not to get in your head too much. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't like, and that's the thing that we were trying to talk about earlier, where it's like, people of our generation and younger, we're so caught up in the worldview that we don't give respect to the idea that you're just a human being on this planet Earth.
Right.
So just worry about that.
Think about the beauty too of how small we are in the grand scale of the universe is that you can, you can take some time to yourself. You can be a little selfish. Like the universe won't suffer if you sleep in tomorrow. So
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people actually find it depressing to think of themselves as specks of dust, but it's also like what's the word? Alleviating? I think that's the word I'm looking for. Or it's relieving. It's relieving because it's like, look, everything you do is not going to be the end of the fucking world. Yeah. It's not going to destroy the entire universe. Yeah. You're not Galactus. You're not even Thanos. Yeah. Just like relax. Just be a creature and respect and love that about yourself and worry about that for a little bit. And then the next day you can worry about a greater world issue.
Exactly. Deal with the circumstances you're given the best you can.
Yeah.
But don't let the dealing with come at a cost to your mental health. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't overwork yourself. Like, it's not worth the
don't do it,
the mental damage that it can do on you. So
yeah.
I hope you have a nice, relaxing week.
We agree.
And you try to take it easy on yourself this week.
Yeah, take it easy. All right?
Yeah.
Take it easy. All right? This week is on us. All right? You can chill out.
Exactly.
You can chill on the STARBOUND podcast.
Hell yeah. So. All right.
But yeah, it's been your boy King Cudjo.
And Cough Drippy as always.
And 2 Chainz.
Peace.
Sheesh.